Right, guys, we're at the Scapegoat Underground podcast number 2. We're back after the first one. We will be doing another little intro sequence and things like that. We're just getting it off the ground, make sure people are seeing it instead of it not being really out there. So this time around, we've got James McDonald over here, City of Des Visara, well, sound engineer, a couple of other things that he does. We've got Curious Castaway again, Mike, sitting here. And we've got Stu down the end, which is Somesthesia frontman. And just all-around nice guy.
That's me.
That's him. So yeah, same again. We're just going to talk about bands, stuff that's happening in the local scene, anything that's really been happening, honestly. So, what's been happening?
Well, I recently went and saw some Japanese psychedelia. If that counts.
Yeah.
Hibu Shibiri. I think is the name. Hibu Shibiri.
Barry, you saying it?
Yeah. Which it turns out is from is a term from Japanese porn called freak out orgasm. They were pretty cool. They're pretty sweet. The dude who was running the gig was pretty psychedelic.
Nice.
He was pretty crazy out there guy.
So what sort of ilk of music are they playing? Like what type of psychedelia? Is it like proper 70s stuff?
Like fucking...
I hope it said freak out orgasm. I was like, sounds so Frank Zappa.
Yeah, I was going to say.
Well, probably...
Is there xylophones?
No. I'd say they were like a crazier version of Earthless, but Japanese, obviously.
Yeah.
And obviously Dead Otter played, who I didn't realize was just everyone's dad. Everyone's dad, and then fucking Omar from the Cosmic Dead.
Yeah, just, hey, man.
Who are these old dudes?
He's a dad wrangler. That's what he is.
Like the other band was The Contact High,
Don't think I've
which is a two-piece, so a drum and a bass player, and the bass player just has like fucking pedal boards and makes weird sounds. So that was cool.
Where was this?
Henry Cellar Bar. Everyone's dad's lounge.
Yeah.
It was a great venue though.
It's another miserable sweaty box, but we all seem to love it, so it's great.
Well, I went there and I was just like, cool, man, this is so good to see all the Edinburgh psych heads out, and it's just fucking old dudes. I was like one of the youngest people there. I'm like, I miss psych gigs here.
Funnily enough, the last time I was at Henry Cellar Bar, I went and saw Dan Higgs there. And it was exactly the same gambit. That, like, I was there, the youngest person there by miles, and it was one of the most obscure things I've ever seen. It's like, all right. Okay.
Yeah, actually, I mean, I looked up that dude's fucking Facebook. It's like Fuzzbat gigs or productions or whatever. And yeah, he's putting on some stuff down at the Leith Depot, which again, I think it's just going to be fucking noisy, psyche weirdness, which I'm pretty into. So I'm going to try and get down to that. And I want to try and get in contact with him and just be like, what is it that you do?
Yeah, how has this come to
How did you come to... Because I think he's probably like younger than me.
Yeah.
I mean, I'm only 29. I don't look it, I imagine, but...
Yeah, you're the young
I looked at him, and I was like, man, that dude looks like he's probably 25 or some shit, and takes a lot
Look
of
where I
acid.
could have been!
Yeah, that could have been me if I was just more into doing good shit.
Something.
Yeah. Other than just constantly drinking and working.
But I will say that also the Japanese bands at the moment are fucking crushing it. Like we had Palm and Friendship come not too long ago, and I had the honor of filming them when they were in.
Yeah, they're fucking sick.
It was like middle of the week, one of the mankiest days Scotland's ever had, so it wasn't really an option for folk to go outside. It wasn't like, yes, let's go do this. But oh my god, it was packed, and it was just madness from the off. Like two of the most insane bands I've ever seen. And
Palm's vocalist is a fucking crazy dude.
Yeah, man.
Like that guy goes all out.
Yeah.
Bouncing around the walls.
Yeah.
Yeah, man. They both were like totally up for it, and as well as they started off in the kind of like very respectful, and then like 2 songs in, they're just like, fuck this, front row's getting it. Like just going straight.
I'm gonna break stuff.
Yeah, man.
And that was the last time anyone put a gig on in Bandy. Everything's broken.
It's not about Japan or like even like Eastern, like Oriental Asian countries and stuff like that. And the extreme side of metal or extreme music as well. They're all very experimental, and it's all very interesting. Like even the songwriting structure, it's not all standard like Western, songwriting. So
I've had a weird obsession with Japanese, not just metal, but Japanese kind of rock and pop music for almost as long as I can remember. I think a lot of it comes from my sister was registered to like the manga video club.
Yeah.
So every month they would send you like a manga video and have all these crazy songs and stuff. But I remember like first time hearing of like a band like Duran Grey.
Yeah.
And then like
Morris, Japanese Marilyn Manson type.
Yeah, Man Capture Markets as well. And that they were kind of
drum and bass. So.
Their music videos were fucked up
Yeah,
as well.
totally.
Like glitching out
At the
3D
time.
stuff,
It's
like
We have a
animation.
song on
18
Tony
years
Hawk as
ago.
well.
Yeah, it's 18 years ago as well. That song came out. It's crazy. But
We caught them at Download actually, Mad Capsule Markets.
Yeah?
Yeah,
They were
cool.
fucking awesome. Like,
totally. I was gonna say about like, but even like, I really like. It's so weird because when you think about that, like the concept of genre, especially for metal, and how many kind of supposed genres of metal there is with Japanese music, especially with pop. There is like a gazillion
It's a
different types
bottomless
of
pit.
genres, like absolutely. Like, if I can give one kind of a tip to go back and check out, it's like a 1970s electro kind of funk band called Cosmos. And I think I might be wrong about this, but they're three sisters,
Right.
And they all look like librarians, and they just come out with the most amazing funk pop. And it's like the kind of music. If you were on hold, it's the kind of music you want to be listening to when you're on hold.
The one that,
It's really
You're
nice.
disappointed when someone picks up on the
Like-
outside.
Yeah, it's like put it back on.
I don't like personally the whole like K-pop, J-pop, every sort of thing that's underneath the sun pop is not really my cup of tea.
It's pop.
But
City
there
pop.
is
and
there
there's
is
also
city pop, yeah.
there's loads of other.
But
like,
there's one in particular that made me like laugh unbelievably. And it wasn't their intention, and they were called Necronomadol. And they're a K-pop band, but they're a goth K-pop
I
band.
like it.
And they are the most like unarsed people. Every music video, they're just like gauntly laying around. It's just like we've been forced to make this music video.
That's a gimmick. That's a
That's
solid
what I
gimmick.
mean,
I love
yeah.
it. It's
No
like,
smiles.
Oh man, they,
Stand in
Yeah.
the forest, look grim, no smiles.
Yeah,
You're
but
cr-
also
you're-
with this like music in the background, it's fucking ridiculous. Man.
amazing. So I love that kind of stuff.
There's like Maximum the Hormone.
Oh,
the album
God,
as well.
yeah.
Like they did like the Death Note sort of track,
Yeah.
but they've just got some mad fucking stuff in there. It's like it turns into a K-pop thing, and then it goes into like hardcore slam. And it's just like,
Yeah.
I love that because like they're like even though they can like specify what kind of genre they're playing in, it doesn't actually set the bar or the rules for what genre the song's actually going to be.
you have no idea what you're going to
But I
expect.
think
There's no
that's-
rules. It's awesome.
But I also think as well that like they definitely have more of that let's break the rules idea.
More
Pardon me, because
open-minded
like
to experiment.
even things like your baby metal and stuff like that, I can give it like the nod to say that like they're trying, they're giving it a bash, and that's all well and good.
It's a niche that they've cultivated and that they're jumping on, and
Yeah.
it's got them some cash.
But
Absolutely.
I would say now though that like even in the UK scene, the bands as I say which are like breaking that mold are grind bands. Like Chin Sniffer, the one that's from Leeds. Oh my dear Jesus! As I say, when I went and saw them at Dreadfest at the Temple of Boom, instantly made me feel old. Like I felt out of the loop. Like, and I'm meant to be in the loop, sort of thing. And there's circuit breaking stuff live on stage with like lightsabers and speaking spells and all this sort of like
man.
with an insane drummer and like and bass player. It's just fucking absolute madness. But it was here is the box that grindcore fits in. And don't get me wrong, they kind of took like even GABA influences and stuff like that and put it in that melting pot, and it makes something unbelievable at the end.
Can I just say, as a life experience, everybody should try circuit bending. It's like the easiest thing to do, and it's kind of the most satisfying to do. I remember, I first kind of became aware of it maybe like 10 years ago. I went to see Mogwai at the Corn Exchange, and they were supported by a band called Fuck Buttons. And Fuck Buttons brought...
That name does sound familiar.
Yeah, they brought.
Classic name.
They played last year. I know there's a festival in Austria. There's a town called Fuck, and all the bands that play in it have Fuck in the title. They were like one of the headliners one year.
Classic.
Like, yeah,
Going there now.
expect
a video soon.
Austria. But no, yeah. So like, they just brought like a suitcase and like there's two laptops, a suitcase, and the suitcase was just fucking full of toys. They were taking it apart and just making songs as we were going along.
Yeah.
And I remember watching that and going, man, that's like heavy. That must be like you must have to have like a really solid electrical kind of engineering background and
for it,
stuff
yeah.
like that. I started looking into it. I was like, nope. He just like he literally just try and test everything. So I remember maybe like 3 or 4 months removed from the show, I was walking past the cash generators on the bridges, and they had a literal sale in the window. It was like one of those moments, like an epiphany, like a flash and something like that. So it was electrical toys, 80% off, and I was like,
all of them.
Ah, cool. Literally, like a box, a folded box of these toys. went to Maplin, got myself a couple of hangnails and crocodile clips, like the mini ones.
Yeah.
And then just like go to town. Like the one thing I never ever got to try, and it's like my biggest regret, it's the one thing I've always wanted to circuit bend is a Furby.
Oh yeah.
Because it literally is the death rows of a Furby. It's in a weird way quite beautiful. Yeah. Especially the eyes are like,
I also,
Have you seen someone made the Furby choir? It's like something like a piano.
Man, that creeps me the
activates
fuck out.
The Furbies.
Was it Paul McCartney?
Someone with way too much time.
Well, I've got this great idea for it's like the frog chorus. But,
From what you were saying, that I would totally recommend, as I say, Chin Sniffer, and another one's called Slothhammer.
I think I've heard Slothhammer.
Slothhammer's got Paul Priest. He's in 100-Year-Old Man and God knows how many other bands. But their circuit bending dude, I'm sorry, I can't remember your name right now off the top of my head.
Let's call him Bendy.
Bendy, yeah. So he actually makes his own instruments, like to go there. So he will have like other bits and bobs. One of my favorite things that he has is a kettle. So he'll turn the kettle on and it'll boil up, and then you hear all this just madness, and it just turns out shit and stuff. But he actually brought himself a cigar box, and you know the like door stoppers that are like the kind of spring.
Yeah.
That's how he played it. And he had like a humbucker with like strings bent over the top, and by the end he had pretty much stripped all of this instrument that he had made and put it in a bucket that was on the floor because he was playing it so hard.
Again,
it was just insane.
I have a special place in my heart for people like that are essentially the MacGyvers of music.
We'll make it work.
Just musical MacGyver.
Obviously, Mortal Temperance offer and Punisher and stuff like that. There's a lot of that going on there. There was a guy. This is so obscure, and if anyone can find anything by him on the internet, I'll be very impressed. But around the kind of early to mid '90s, there was an independent Austrian. No, it was Italian, sorry. The man is from Venice. That was his name, Alejandro, that was it. And he didn't do circuit bending, but he used a lot of toys as he was a one-man band with just loads of shit, and he did an insane version of Psycho Killer by Talking Heads.
Oh, right.
And literally nothing makes any sense. There's a bit of guitar in it, but it's like Spanish guitar, so it's not really this. It's not the same.
It
at all.
doesn't fit with everything else that's going on.
But I can kind of remember at the start of it. There's like a scraper. It's like, and then there's like a xylophone. It's like, and all these kind of weird warping noises. It's just like chaos. And then he starts.
Find a link.
Yeah.
We'll put it in the description.
I dare him to try and find it because this is so obscure.
You've got the internet, right?
Yeah, it's true.
Like, come on.
Alessandro was pre-internet. He might be one of these holy grails. I used to have a CD of it somewhere. I might still have the CD somewhere. But
We'll rip that shit. It'll be all right.
But oh my god, he was fantastic. The best thing about him is that his English wasn't fantastic. So when he didn't know the words, because he wouldn't have learned the full songs, and like he was on radio, I'm sure it was like Radio Scotland or Radio Clyde or something. One time and doing the song, and his live is like, I can't seem to face up to the fact. It's like that. And you're just kind of like, cool.
Yeah, alright.
Because none of the music makes any sense. It just adds to the experience. It's like, he doesn't even know what's going on. It's amazing.
But I want to go back to your MacGyver point.
Yes.
Right? Because I think nowadays with a lot of like the toys that are out there, tech, people are getting more elaborate with their shows, and even like people using splitter
sensors
on
and little circuit boards and just like clips and things.
Bands
like
that use splitter upon splitter upon splitter. So
even simple things like I've seen. I've personally known two guitarists that have used a drill as a means of vibrato in the guitar. So it's like using it as like an EBO essentially. So like
the dildo's the classic one, right? You know,
when someone sees you're going to bring in the dildo play.
when Mark washes them. I should mention that's funny because that's like a more of an in joke, but within the band.
It was fine as it was, but carry on.
Within the band, Mark is the sexual predator and the reference of all sexual predator jokes, essentially. So if there's somebody in your garden at 3 o'clock in the morning, it's Mark Carey, 100%.
What a way to sell your band! We've got a sexual predator in it.
It's not even. He's like a sexual predator. He's relentless as well. Like inanimate objects won't stop him. Like,
inside.
Yeah. he's like a rabid dog.
So I guess the
Moving
question
on
is
from
there
insertion.
is there a noise scene in Edinburgh? Or?
What's
Is anyone
straight
doing
out
noise?
Like, as you were saying before in
Plenty
the
of
last one,
grind.
there was like Nadja and a couple of other bands that are floating about, but to be honest, I wouldn't say that there's like a scene of noise. There's definitely more like grind
Yeah.
and doom and stuff, but it's not gone that like
Well,
one
it's,
step further.
maybe we should kick that door in. I mean,
By all means, man, go
Break
for
the
it.
walls
who wants to start a noise band
Smash
or a
that
noise
ground.
group? Well, you got the toys.
I got the toys.
Yeah.
I was just saying, there's talking about DIY, making it all yourself, musical instruments, things like that. Pink Floyd, after they did Dark Side of the Moon,
Yeah.
they ended up doing was it Household Objects? I don't think many people bought it because it was just basically, the idea was to make an album using no musical instruments whatsoever.
Okay.
They just had to so you've got like trying to make a snare sound out of pots and pans, or
Yeah.
get a bass out of an elastic band and a bit of like a pencil or something like that as well.
But it doesn't have to
They're
be
just,
the
like, locked
tippity
away
top.
for-
It's like it depends on how you think. It's that Billy Connolly thing of a lot of people think like straightforward and like the creative think sideways sort of thing. And I think that's now the way. It's the analogy that I was using beforehand of like Brazilian kids playing soccer with like nothing on their feet and being like amazing. And then there's kids that will be like, oh, I've not got the new Adidas soccer shoes so I can't play. It's like, dude, if you want to do it, you'll find a way how to do it.
Yeah.
It doesn't matter. Like,
Kit don't make the difference. Really,
no,
you
no.
know,
Well,
if you can-
to some degree, but to learn and to get better and things like that, it doesn't particularly necessary. I don't think.
I was actually reading, get heavy for a second, a really interesting kind of psychological study talking about like lateral thinking. But people that have that kind of work by bouncing from idea to idea are generally more artistic people, and they're actually more liberal people.
Yeah.
And the people that have the kind of trains of thought, where it's like a single idea and they're following a single idea, are generally conservative. So there's like an actual kind of correlation between the way
How
people
they
think,
think
like
and-
the direct way that people think.
On this day of elections,
Indeed, I know, it's topical.
Yeah, very topical, very heavy, my boy.
I know, I think that may be Jordan Peterson
For
controversial.
those who don't know, there's some elections going on about some Euro thing going.
I think so.
We don't
yeah.
know. We're Scottish. We don't pay attention to Europe. Anyway,
Yeah.
I don't think we'll qualify.
No.
We never qualify.
We're just happy to be
We always get beat
invited.
by San Marino and the Faroe Islands.
Some guy wearing a woolly hat. You know, that's what happens. Fishermen. Men that fish.
well, I guess still gonna then harp on the noise thing, but like, is there like a bigger noise scene down south then?
There's a good
Seeing
one.
as like people are like
Well, the thing is,
doing circuit bending and stuff in grind down there more than I guess up here. I don't know.
Glasgow's got a pretty healthy scene for noise and stuff like that. There are
Yeah,
a couple
like-
acts that always has been.
I would say as well that like if you I don't know as much about it, but definitely like in the GABA scene and like the really hard tech and stuff like
Yeah.
that. I don't know why I overwent with the tech word there, but yeah, okay. It's like this electronic music that they're doing. But yeah, like that sort of ebb of people, like because what's his name, Anger Fist and stuff like that. Like he's one step away from a noise artist. Like it's the same sort of deal with Sun. Is that noise or is that doom? It's,
Yeah, what are they?
yeah, it's,
Their
it's-
frequency.
Can you say of Spire and Frozen kind of traversing that? There was a lot of heavy noise and like a lot of their like literally like you fear for your blood drying up in your body.
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah.
that's how
Well,
good
I
it is.
also love their like adaptation of the drum kit and stuff like that, where instead of just getting a cymbal and it's a broken shitty one, it's no, I went and found a weird plate of metal which is like 1.5 inches thick. That'll make a weird horror
Again,
sound.
go back to the DIY thing. Actually, that actually reminds me of like my first kind of proper band that was in. Weirdly enough, serendipitously, we're doing a show, reunion show for like a cancer fundraiser in like 2 weeks. Well, I've not practiced yet. It's gonna be hilarious because we haven't played together in 50 years.
How is
Oh, for Nick?
Yeah.
For some anesthesia. Yeah, no, we had a meeting this week and we were talking about picking up the jamming in like a couple of weeks.
so I just like go back down the studio, rough out a few stuff, see how he's doing, sort of.
Yeah, pretty much. He's had a couple of jams. He's had two kind of full jams. The first one, it was really painful. The second one wasn't.
Alright, okay.
So he's kind of like, I feel like I can maybe go through like a jam session if you're just like a couple of songs. But we're not kind of rushing him. So he said we tried to set like a target, and he said like 2 or 3 weeks. So that's really good.
Just to put it out there, Nicky, the drummer of Summer Siege, is a fucking maniac. Like, oh, I fucked my wrist. Let's go climbing. Let's go through all this stuff.
Actually climbing.
Was it actually climbing?
It was climbing the Alps. He fucked up his wrist.
See, fucking maniac.
Just one of those casual
One
things
of
you do
them,
on the
yeah.
weekend, you know.
And like he was back on like the downhill kind of biking about 2 months after the operation and stuff like that. Like
I rest my case.
He's not got much wrist movement at the moment, but it's kind of more coming back to him.
As a trooper. But
But honestly, like, Somasesia as a band have got their shit together. This is just to put it out there, but like, these guys have got like a data bank. We've spoke about this before, but like, the data bank that you guys got is a work of art in itself, let alone it being actually music, which is art and stuff like that.
The trick is really locking Mark and Mike up in a room without food or water.
And that trusty dildo.
Yeah, absolutely. Mark always slips one in.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Even when you pat him down, you can't seem to find it, and
Like,
then there it
you can
is.
go deep in a full cavity search, but there's like extra layers to Mark. It's
like an onion.
Yeah, like with pockets.
Yeah.
Dildo,
Skin pockets.
Skin dildo pocket onion, man.
Yeah.
Mark
to the
Henry.
usual place.
T-shirt. But yeah, so the thing
You can
is,
just in MacGyver it, just fashion one old dirt.
how many tracks do you have on that like cloud?
Actually, like the theoretically, there's at the moment there's like 7 releases. A good example at the moment is we're with Nick coming back. We're kind of progressing, and now obviously we've done most of the recording for this release thing that we're doing. And we're kind of going to start working on what like songs are going to go in the album, which we'll be working on in the meantime before we start gigging again in September. I shouldn't say that though, because that's not confirmed in September, but well, it is. But not out loud. But, yeah, so it's looking.
But you're thinking about doing a 3-track or something like that.
With the 3 tracks, that's recorded pretty much. I've got about 2 hours left to maybe to do like vocals and stuff. We're taking a lot of time with vocals because there's a lot of vocal tracks in it. Like
And you're
there's
doing
one track's
this
got like 18.
mostly
vocal tracks in it.
yourselves.
Completely by ourselves, pretty much at the moment. We're probably sending it off to somebody else to mix and master.
Plotkins again.
It's probably gonna be James Plotkin again. Yeah,
My man.
my man.
He makes everything sound fucking angry.
It's true. He is a wonderful man.
But who's he worked with? It's like
Isis,
Yeah, the Spire of Throne.
Yeah. There's like about 7 or 8, and it's not just like in a metal band. It's like he's prolific and reasonable rates as well. He's a gentleman.
But he seems like he just like reached out and was like, hey, we do this.
Yeah, no, we signed the things. Like, do you want to make this? He's like, yeah, this is how much I'll charge. And we're like, yeah, cool. It was like, I think we had maybe like 1 back and forth over the emails, and the turnaround was like a week. I think it was pretty quick.
Nice.
So yeah, like that's kind of what we're thinking. I think George from Kurokuma was quite keen to have a shot of it as well. So
The Kurokuma boys are sick, and you're wearing their hat
again.
Woo! Fucking grim hat, but it's good.
Yeah. But in terms like like the kind of original things like to say like how like what kind of scale of like not songs we have. We have a big Dropbox with all these files that Bailey's aware of because he shared it for a while when Scapegoat was getting started. And Mark, the guitarist and Sexual Predator, has he's got his like list for the songs that he thinks should be on the album. And then I've got my own list, which is not the Dropbox, and about 2 of the songs are the same.
They're correlated,
yeah, like we literally have different ideas to what the album
But
should
yeah, it's
sound
like
So all
multiple
these songs
albums
are just
worth.
trying to
yeah, it's literally like figuring out what all works together and stuff.
It's I think the best way that I've seen a band do it is that all of these guys have pretty much the key to then go and drop off whatever it is, and they all have like Ableton or Cubase or whatever it is to record something and then chuck it up there. And that might not be something that is essential. We have to use it. Pardon me.
But at least it's there.
We use,
At least it's there.
we use Reaper because it's free.
And then, as I say, you've got there's 5 of them in a band. One of them writes that riff. Then it can
Thanks,
percolate with the other 4 people in the band.
I've got something for that.
Yeah,
Maybe
exactly.
Try that.
So something that you might throw out, somebody else could use, and as I say, it gets bigger, 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 bigger.
It's interesting how bands actually work and write together. I worked with Endless Swarm, and they were using like various programs as well as obviously jamming themselves. But they were using Guitar Pro, something like that. You know, everything's all in MIDI. So there's the drum parts, there's the bass parts, there's the guitar parts.
Yeah.
Boom. You know, and then everybody gets that. It might be a bit of a having to input, you know, and fill out, you know, Guitar Pro and which is pretty much like, you know, you've got your 6 guitar strings, so you need to press on the 12th fret here and then slide down. So
it's funny actually, because like I don't think I've ever really obviously like talking from being in a few bands, and like me and James were in a band together as well at one point as well.
Many moons ago.
Yeah. But we like every band has a different approach.
Practice in my front room.
I didn't. I don't think.
You did at the time. Yeah.
It's like Ixnay.
Like the way that we like wrote sort of like Tower of Flies was like the I think the last band that I contributed an actual riff, like an actual like piece of music to. There was a bit more kind of like everyone's got ideas and stick them in and see what kind of works. With Somesthesia, Mark and Mike obviously have like this is the kind of basic idea of what we have, and then we all go away, jam through it or write some stuff. So what can we try this? I say the kind of I would say a lot more of this way goes with Nick, because Nick I'd say has more the programming of the drums and the demos is always questionable. Like, because Nick's always like, this is good, but let's try this, and like.
But he's like, there are some drummers that do it by feel, and no doubt Nick can do that. But one of the things which was so impressive to me was when we were doing them sessions. So Somesthesia did a Wall of Sound session with myself and Stu Gordon, and when they came down, they did 3 runs of it. And all 3 runs, the differential was literally like a second or 2, and that was more ring out than it was actual like the drum beat. And it was insanity, like how drilled and refined it was. It was literally to the millisecond sort of thing.
Nick would still be like afterwards. I don't do a very good impression. Nick could be like, "Oh, it was shite. It was so nice." That's nothing.
It was like he was here,
guarding his pot of gold.
Yeah, that's right.
But going back to something that I've said dozens of times to God knows how many fucking bands, and Endless Swarm is a very good example of why this works. But I'm going to put this out again to anyone that's fucking listening.
Swarm Boys.
Swarm Boys are fucking sick, but they've utilised it really well, and it's do a fucking split. I think Somesthesia should go and find another band similar ilk, not exactly, but similar to, and then get a 12-inch or something out.
As you know, there is a lot of conflicting cognitive prowess within Somesthesia. A lot of bargaining for ideas and such, and we have an idea it allows us to get the songs out for people to listen to, and it's a really cool idea. We think it's a very original idea. We don't think anyone's ever released anything in
Is it on like
this
a wax
format.
Cylinder or something?
No, we're presenting it in a certain way, and the good thing about the way we're presenting it is that later on, if there is the opportunity for maybe doing a release with the songs or putting them on in some form of release or doing a split, we can still do that. But to get the songs out to the fans,
the general public, bootlegs, baby.
we have a way of we have a cool, unique way of issuing it out. So we're very excited.
And you're not going to tell it.
No, because I literally think it's such a cool kind of novel idea that if anyone sees this and steals it, I'll be really peeved off.
Well, people, keep your eyes peeled for something coming out at some time from Somesthesia about something.
And
You can tell us and we just edit it out.
I can tell you what I can tell you is that I can potentially, but there may be a chance, but I doubt you'll be able to. Well, if you were going to get them online, you would get them through the conventional platforms.
Yeah, like Bandcamp.
We have a corporeal thing.
Ooh.
That we have
This is going to be like Neil Young when he brought out his own like.
Audio system.
Was he got paid for like a train set thing? He's like a train set. You just I've spent a lot of time playing with train sets, fixing them, and you. I got a big.
Like your music's gonna come
I got
out
a big
as
rock hanging on my nose.
It's like you guys.
I love that. Have you ever seen that story about Neil Young on the Last Waltz?
Yeah, man. Joni Mitchell had to fucking like pretty much park in front of the microphone.
Scorsese had to edit out literally like physically the quote around Neil Young's nose. Like, and this is in the 70s. There's no CGI or anything like that. He had to physically edit the film to hide it because literally apparently This was like the height. I don't know why we're trying to jump to this, but I just think it's a really funny story. But this is the height of Scorsese.
If you haven't watched it, watch The Last Waltz, like all of it. There's lots of music in it, but you've got to watch the little documentary slivers.
Absolutely, but like I say, they literally had to, because Neil had taken so much coke. Like this is the height of Martin Scorsese's coke phase, so he was like encouraging it. There's a great story. Which I just wrote this story up with. Essentially, when they were in the Cannes Film Festival for the release of Last Waltz, Scorsese ran out of like cocaine halfway through the interview session, and he literally said to the people on camera, he was like, "No more coke, no more interviews, no more coke, no more interviews. I need coke to do interviews." And this is a massive tantrum about not having cocaine. And I was like, "Watch The Last Waltz."
This sounds very Jake the Snake.
He was Jake the Snake before Jake the Snake was even Jake the Snake.
Exactly.
Fucking Tony Montana.
Totally, the Wolf of Wall Street, man.
Drugs are nothing happens.
Yeah, well, say like I think Scorsese did Wolf of Wall Street as well, didn't he?
Yes.
Yeah.
Fuck.
It's probably like, I get this guy.
Yeah. We are kindred spirits, you and I.
That explains everything.
Probably where it's getting the coke from in the 80s.
So let's turn it over to you, my man. What you been up to? Because you've got like Visara, City of Dis. You're also engineering in here, and you've done like the Sisters.
I'm here in Bannermans, one of the cool metal underground tunnel type venues in Edinburgh. You know, there's quite a selection, but yes, I'm one of many engineers here. Shout out to Irish Rob, Stu Gordon, Hef, and
what
Marcus.
a team! What a team!
Yeah.
Great summit.
As I say, like I gushed last week about how I think this is the jewel in the crown of like venues. It might not be the biggest, it might not be the best, but it's like technically best. It's I think just the best place to go and see music in Edinburgh. So
there is a flat above for bands to rent and such who are touring, and they tend to like to stop off here and just recharge before they fuck off to like Manchester or Newcastle or wherever it is.
And 99.9% of these bands take care. And you know,
then it's just
don't fuck up the flat.
yeah.
There was
Remember that? Yeah. Like
So,
you
ladies
pricks
and
at Magic Carpet, god damn.
I mean, I can't even remember. Like, I was gonna say I can't remember their name. I was like, this is not.
Oh, I remember
just
their fucking
yeah,
names.
just
I
pull down.
remember what some of them look like, the little pricks.
So basically, there's a flat upstairs, has lovely like bedrooms and rooms, nice kitchen, and everything. Has a lovely little like shower and a bathroom. And this band came down from Dundee.
I don't know exactly where they're from, but
up
they're
north
like
somewhere.
18, 19, 20 years old, probably first time playing outside of wherever their hometown was, that sort of deal.
And they decided to coat the entire flat in fucking graffiti, about that fucking size, in big blue ink.
Now,
fair enough having a wee tag, that's fair enough, this band was here, Magic Carpet was here, 2019,
Whatever,
but instead it was just, so
the thing
blacklisted.
that puts this into context is that, like, as I say, this place has got so much lineage and absolute mental bands have stayed in here, and they still look after the place that they stay. They're very gracious and all that lot. And as I say, it's not a fact of, as James just said, we don't mind having like that tag on the wall, sticker, blah blah blah, to say that you were here. But it's just how much liberties that they took with the place, and then
disrespectful.
and it's like as I say, it turned into national news.
It was outrageous, like how quickly it happened as well. I can remember being, I think I was off that day. Like maybe like 11 o'clock in the morning, there was something on Facebook, and I was like, "Oh fuck, that's totally Shan."
Yeah.
And then within about 2 hours, like there was like media outlets reporting on it and stuff like that in Scotland, like not big ones, but the kind of local ones. And it just like over the course of maybe like 12 hours, like every single musician, pretty much in Scotland, were like, we hate these guys. These guys are fucking
it's a slow
assholes.
news day.
The funny thing about it was as well that I won't name names because it might get them in trouble, but certain promoters which have got some chops after this Magic Carpet then pulled their Facebook and Twitter and all this.
Pulled the rug.
Yeah, they literally closed all their stuff down to pretty much
run.
run away from their responsibilities. And a guy over in Glasgow, which is an absolute sweetheart, pretty much just started printing their names and just be like, this guy, this guy, this guy, this guy. If they're in any other band, like, just don't book them. This is what they've done. And I was like, dude, that's fucking brilliant.
That is absolutely fantastic.
Yeah, and it's like, of all people, he's got the weight to be like, come at me, bro. I don't give two fucks. But
I can't ever remember a thing unifying musicians in Scotland more. However long we've been gigging.
Fuck these guys.
Yeah, no, literally. A common interest brought us all together. hatred for teenagers.
But it was also, as I say, it was more the fact of something that we've managed to try and cultivate and look after and stuff like that. And as I say, anytime that there has been like the occasional broken window or whatever it is, the band will be down first thing in the morning. Oh, I'm sorry this happened and blah blah. We'll help pay for it. Whatever the problem may be. Could even just be noise or whatever it is. But like as I say, the way how they dealt with it, then they slunk out, then they lied about it, and as I say, the bar were trying their best to be like, hey guys, like, do you want to fix the thing that you fucked up? Oh no, we didn't do anything. It's like, dude, come on, man, what the fuck? It's like that's one way how to ruin your music career in one go.
Before you even get started.
Be a pleb.
Yeah, totally.
Like that's it.
That is like major league asshole. If you're going to do roadie stuff and you're in a band, don't do it in a way that would affect you getting further bookings.
Yeah.
I mean, it works for some people,
Yeah.
like, but these people generally turn out to be fucking assholes.
Don't
like
bite the fucking
GDL
hand that feeds you.
and stuff
Yeah,
like that.
but also it's like you'll see the focus will have like it's kind of like the wrestling thing. It might look cool, but it's always going to be at some sort of detriment to themselves. Like as I say, the Black Dial and Merlin. I can't even fucking remember the band's name now. But like guys that jump off the stage with fucking guitars and all this sort of lot. It's like that looks cool, but no doubt they're hurting themselves as well. It's a give and take. It's not just one-sided, as in like somebody else gets hurt and I'm fine out of the situation, you know. So yeah, it's just they were being little shits, and as I say, I'm glad that they got the fucking online slap.
I mean, that's a wee horror story, you know. I mean, they're few and far between.
Yes,
like,
that is
the guys that come in here is just like, you know, they're a great crack. You know, bands from all over. Had some American dude over, Lord Bishop Rocks, you know, and he was digging on his blues vibe and stuff, and he's just like a bit of a character. But then we had, Pygmy Twilight,
Yeah, the Zappa
which was
tribute.
the Zappa tribute band, and they were fantastic. Not being a huge clued up on Zappa, I'm sure a few more out of Zappa.
Yeah, me and this man
We're gonna
could
get
literally
I
put
would-
episodes to Zappa.
I would literally say that Zappa is probably the greatest musician of the 20th century.
I have a
Yeah,
great
I'm up there with
appreciation
that.
of jazz and the songwriting after just like watching an hour and a half worth of a tribute band. And like I said, the guitarist, the sax guys, they're all in sync, you know, as well as the keys, you know.
Yeah.
Fantastic.
We were discussing it before you went and did the sound for it, and he was like, I don't know what to expect. And he was like, what do you think they're going to play? And I'm like, he's got 144 albums, bro. It's like, it could be Shut Your Guitar Up, which is just a guitar player with literally a metronome going, and that's it. Or it could be through to like full orchestral scores and shit like that.
Peaches and Regalia.
Yeah, Hot Rats and shit like that.
Yeah.
Like Zappa is one of the most like over the top but yet crisp music talents that have ever been. Like there's nothing which is like shit in my opinion.
Yeah, the thing is, like I say, you talk about how prolific he was, but like prolific in writing music that literally broke musicians trying to learn how to play and stuff. Like the stories, like people
fucking
like
out
auditioning for
there.
him, and like
But also like
brutal.
him finding and nurturing talent. So Alice Cooper, Frank Zappa was involved with, Steve Vai,
Terry Bozzio.
Terry Bozzio, yeah, like all of the Mothers, which then went on to do another like incarnations of other bands after that. Every single one of them is like top fucking drawer.
Totally.
Like it's not like they're shabby in any way, shape, or form. So yeah.
But these guys were Scottish local
Yeah.
Zappa guys as well. I'm trying to. I want to say Glasgow, but I mean, don't quote me.
Yeah,
You know,
yeah.
sorry guys, you know
We got the name right at least.
I was able to remember the name, but the
Actually,
words
we're
are
all
still
from
involved.
Auchinleck.
The Fort William Zappa experience.
Just so happens that Fort William has a lot of talented musicians.
On the slime covered at your TV screen.
Oh god.
Chukter Zappa.
Yeah, but there is a whole bunch of different stuff that's floating around, from like punk to, as you say, you went and saw like psychedelic Japanese stuff to Zappa tribute bands that are fucking playing.
You're putting on one of the most interesting guys
Hell yeah.
coming along soon,
And-
Mr. Mackay or Masai.
Marcel. With Gendo Akari.
Yeah, I'm gonna say packed undercard, like oof.
Yeah, it's going to be pretty fucking noisy. So as Vasara starts,
Thank you very much.
and then Wolf's
It's gonna be
Sermon. As I say, I called it like frantic, like blackened, like frantic barbaric black metal, and they think they're going for like the death, blackened death thing. So I might have fucked up the genre.
It
on that.
depends what you define frantic as, though, because I define like I would describe my masturbating as frantic.
man, with the amount of like chafing you have, yeah.
Plus, when you're on the bus, you kind of have to be quick as well. So there's like a mad dash.
Push.
That word's now taboo ever since Saint Anger.
Tick, tick, tick.
But then
That's why I like that's how I masturbate frantically.
to try and get away from his masturbation habits.
Finish off before the song finishes.
So then Wolf Sermon is then followed by Gendo Akari, which is one of my favourite bands right now. They are just absolutely fucking vicious.
Word.
Nice. Check out some of their stuff.
JJ, as I was saying beforehand, this carries on the lineage of like punishing frontmen, and we were talking about Callus last week. JJ is like amazing as a frontman.
Totally.
Like I definitely think that your frontman should take a lot of notes
Okay.
when Gendo's on stage, man. Like
We'll be there.
he absolutely tears the fucking place up. And then you've got Mr. Marseille at the end, which is like a French cello one-man grind artist, which is just fucking nuts. And we're going
Kind
to
of
be
looks like Harmar Superstar.
he plays in his pants. It's fucking great. And also we'll be filming the show as well. So the more bodies and the more vibrant it looks, the better and
Stay
stuff
tuned
like
to
that. So it
Scapegoat
should be a
TV.
good crack. Also, there's that Vomfest on as well.
Yes.
The
That looks
days
good.
beforehand, which should be good crack. So yeah, there's this weekend. Once this gets released, it's going to be pretty fucking busy. So we better see a whole bunch of you cunts out there, eh?
That's right.
Picking up now.
Yeah, exactly. That point says it all.
A real slobber knocker.
A real slobber knocker for these guys.
We got a barn burner on our hands. That's what we got.
I think it's also just weird enough to have just like one dude come up and make a racket. It's like just subverting that whole thing. People are like, we've got to start a band and you need all these elements. And you're like, nah, you could just probably do it on your own, mate.
Yeah, man.
Can you do what that guy's doing? Kinda. Just fucking do it.
Just make noise, bro.
Just fucking make noise and hopefully people will just get involved and be like, yeah, let's go watch a dude hit a
Do
fucking
you know what
bucket
would be
for a while.
Do you know what would be a fun idea? Where like, if you did a noise show where the entire crowd was the band, so you just get like loads of shit up on the stage and say, right guys, we've got the open stage and like we have the only kind of one rule is you have to keep the music going. It can never ever stop.
Yeah,
So like
very
people.
cool.
So
yeah,
like
so
a
like,
launch
it could be
track
like-
on an EP.
What?
There's a loop.
What? Sorry, I was like, what are you saying?
So if you get a pressed vinyl, they can do a thing called a locked track, which is the very last rotation of the LP has got a bank wall on it, which is so tall that the needle can't go over the top
Right,
of it.
right.
So Lou Reed did an LP called like Machine Noise Music, which literally is just HGVs and stuff like that, just making horrible industrial noises, but the last ring on it is an endless ring.
All right, well-
so it will literally never end. If
I
you
would say
put it
putting a
on.
record on would be cheating. But, so, like, but literally, like,
You're
like,
too late as well, because Japanese musicians have done that before. Like bulldozers have been like smashed in venues, and that's what the quote unquote music is.
Simmer down. I'm not talking about like smashing up a venue or something. Like that. You see, you get like some spazzy toys on the stage, like your Furbies and stuff, and you're growing down. You get some random like physical like percussion, maybe like an alloy from like a wheel, car wheel or something like that. A bin, you know. Zappa played
So
a
this is
bicycle
going
on
to turn
TV
into
once.
stomp.
You know, but like noisecore, and it's like invitational, and everyone's going just making a fucking horrible noise. It'd be awesome fun.
I think it'll be
Here,
the other way
smash
around.
this dustbin lid for 5 minutes.
Yes!
It'll be
Who
the
wouldn't
other-
want to smash a dustbin lid for 5 minutes?
I've got a feeling it'll be the other way around, where it'll just turn into like a fucking
Interactive
open
gigs.
mic of just shit.
Well, that's the thing, it's
interactive
noise.
gigs is a
It
few-
can't ever really be shit.
You're hurting my soul.
I'll be hurting your fucking arsehole if you do. Fucking
Yeah, that's fair.
change your tune on my
Do I
noisecore line, you wee
say-
bastard.
Do I say, not do I do?
So Banshee's going to be banging on a night anyway.
Yeah. Apart from all that shit, like June 9th, yeah, it'll be pretty fucking banging. 7 o'clock, $7. 4 bands. Can't go fucking wrong. And it'll be very sweaty. So all I can say is
Bring baby wipes.
Shorts will be a good
Baby
good
wipes.
call. Baby wipes.
I mean, let's be honest with ourselves. It's going to be underground, so maybe bring a pair of jeans for when you leave,
yeah.
because it could be raining.
I'm actually
Or just
quite
take them off
tempted
at
as
the
well.
door and just go in with your underpants.
You can do the Mortal Kombat thing that happened
Do
like
that.
a couple of years ago where people like get their trousers and make them into like, their denims and make them into like a Sub-Zero like outfit. Have you seen that? That is badass.
Well,
I
I've
wish I
also
could do
got
that.
like another
Yeah, it looks
little.
awesome as well. It's so cool.
I've got another little announcement that I've been working on in the last little while as well, which is come November 30th, which is the 2nd year anniversary of Scapegoat. We'll be doing a gig in here. Dun dun dun. So the thing is, the lineup is TBC, is to be confirmed, but so far we're working on 4 to 5 bands, and I'm turgid over it. So considering that I was saying that, this promoting garbage, I've got to chill out and I shouldn't be doing this, I've already started booking another one. More elaborate.
One thing at a time.
Yeah, exactly. This is spiraling out of fucking control to some degree.
All the best things to do.
It's the best thing to do, though. Yeah. If it's like, I'm just rolling with this wave now. I've just pulled the trigger on this bullet. There we go. Just watch it go.
But I must actually have to say that, considering while we're recording this, the rest of the world is seeing the premiere of the first one, and I must admit the rapport has been amazing. Literally, the amount of cunts which are sliding into my DMs is pretty insane. They're just
my inbox remains empty.
yeah.
Thank you.
Don't talk to me.
If you message me, I'll be like, all right.
But we've had an amazing rapport from the amount of bands and people that want to get involved, and we're definitely trying to sort out a calendar and also different things where we can put it into the right genre, if you want to call it. Because Stu and James were both discussing the idea about doing a wrestling podcast as well, because that also seems something in the alternative scene that people seem to enjoy. I have no idea about that, so that's
Talk
pretty
shit
much
about men in loincloths.
That's right.
Yeah,
and women.
I'm sure the local wrestling scene's pretty happening, right?
The Scottish wrestling has been happening for a long time.
Actually, one of my friends, James, who works at Wings, is also pretty big into wrestling. And he plays in 3 or 4 bands or some shit. So if you guys do one, let me know. He can fucking jump on.
Dog-tired brother, Liam Thompson, he's Pennycook based, and he's a wrestler, but I don't know if what connection he's with the Dog-tired boys.
I always see, what's his puss?
Oh,
Joe Hendry.
I see him all the time.
Oh, mate.
I don't know him, but I was like, he must live near me because I see my boot. I see my boot, mind.
That's a whole other podcast as well, saying,
people that I see a boot.
But the point is that this is now becoming a community. That it's not just me organizing filming bands or whatever. It's now getting to the point where other people like Billy, Thrash Willie,
Uncle Billy.
he's doing a couple of thrash things. We're going to hopefully orchestrate his first one in the next wee while. So folk will be doing their own podcast and things like that. And as well as instead of it getting a bit too convoluted with everyone just turning up here all the time, trying to promote or talk or whatever that may be. Because I think getting more refined podcasts would actually do that better instead of them just being so sporadic. So we'll see.
It's so meta. We're talking about the podcast whilst doing the podcast.
Yeah. We got to speak like people are here when there actually is not a fucking soul.
Yeah.
Fourth wall thing going on right now.
You shut up there.
So to wrap it up then,
Would all these then just appear on the Scapegoat YouTube channel?
yeah, this
Are you going to
is
start a new one, Scapegoat podcast?
well, the way how it works is
Scapegoat.
Scapegoat is just literally the kind of title header, so it would just be Channel 4. And then Channel 4 has Homes Under the Hammer and Simpsons and all these sort of
That's the umbrella.
So pretty much Scapegoat TV is the channel where, as I say, Wall of Sound is one playlist, Echoes from the Crypt is another one. We've got top 5s. We're gonna, as I say, have this podcast. So as soon as somebody then does one of their own ones, they get their whole separate thing.
Yeah.
So as I say,
And it just appears on the same thing.
yeah, exactly. So as I say, if anyone wants to get involved, they can. But at the same point in time, it really depends on how much you want to do it.
Yeah.
So I'll help you as much as I can. It's just I can't do it all for you. It's pretty much it.
Now you know.
Now you know, can't. I can give you a space, cameras, editing, post, all that lot. But content and people that you bring is really down to you.
That's all DIY. That's the whole bottom line. Boom, boom, boom. DIY.
Yeah, man.
Do it your fucking self. You got an idea? Yeah, great. 1 minute.
By next year, we're going to have a bloody label and we're going to be in A&R and marketing and
Well,
speaking to people in Europe going, come on, press the records already. What's the hold up?
To be honest, man,
Hopefully we'll still do next
there already has been murmurs of a couple of the things that we've recorded actually going to press.
Yeah.
Which is already terrifying, that considering that, your bandmate, Stu Bendix, had never held a camera before, SLR camera.
What a natural.
Took a couple of stills and then his stills ended up in Terrorizer underneath Scapegoat, which was fucking insane. And then, as I say, we've got 60 videos in under 18 months, and now, as I say, we might be doing a print, we're doing gigs now, we're doing a podcast. So in 18 months, this has gone pretty fucking insane.
I remember when it was just a fetal idea sitting in the
Is that a
womb of
band
your
name?
mind.
Yeah.
Fetal idea. Sounds.
But also, it was
Fecal
realistic
or
of me figuring out how the fuck to do all this stuff, and I like just kind of just jumped in and then hope for the
That's
best.
that's how we learn, you know. We immerse ourselves, throw ourselves
an
into the
idea.
deep
I've
end.
had some fucking car crashes, though, so come on.
Okay.
Not all of them have been top drawer, so we'll see.
Top drawer.
But right, just to tie it all up, then we'll start at that side. And is there anything that you want to say apart from Mark's and like sex pest?
Let's see if I cover that terrible impression of
Constipation.
Nick. I don't think we mentioned Mike enough, so Mike.
Yeah, that's what you get.
Mike?
And stay tuned for more somesthesia news about things and such.
Yeah,
Like your new album that's coming out
not the time that he said it was.
it's going to be stuck in a VW Beatles cassette deck, and that's the only one.
It's actually
If you're going to pester me, I'll tell you exactly what it is. We've actually managed to release the album in a quantum state.
Yeah.
So like you can't actually physically interact with it, but you can kind of see it using special microscopes.
Release the album in acid droplet form. So fucking weird.
Release it in UV.
It's got all the hits.
You won't remember any of them, but it'll be fucking great.
So yeah, stay tuned for somesthesia announcements. That's all I'll say. I'll keep drinking until then.
But apart from that, yeah, that's you. You're jobless.
Unemployed as of last week.
You're a fucking bum now.
Yeah, the wife's taking the weans.
Turn the wings against
Turn
us.
the weans
Oh,
against
that might
us.
be copyright, boys.
Nah, it's Lemmy. He's not smart enough to do this.
Yeah, let's
No,
just,
he is.
yeah, we'll just start shouting the Lemmy quotes and then we'll get all the fucking.
Get all the fucking hashtags.
Yoker.
Mikey boy, what happening?
Probably nothing. I have to wait till I get paid. I work a job where I get paid monthly, so every plan that I get at the beginning of the month gets put on hold until the end of the month.
Yeah, but
paid
like,
in bills.
Other than that, I'm going to your gig.
yeah.
Yeah.
There's actually a few gigs like back to back. There's like Vonfest,
Yeah.
my gig, then Hellraiser, like on the 14th.
Noisy, yeah.
Which is like Everest, Queen, and Sapien, which is also going to be another
Fuck, that's the
fucking
one. Yeah, that's
banger.
one. Sapien. I want to go there because I was after you talking about Sapien so much. I was like, I mean, it's been a long time since I've seen them, so I should probably see them again.
Mate, don't start with the Sapien chat or else
we
we'll be
won't
here
do
for
that.
another
Yeah.
hour.
But I personally have nothing on the go. Well, I mean, I have stuff on the go, but that's like far distant future stuff. Plans like of traveling to other countries to see music festivals.
Yeah.
Wales.
Summertime. Come
One of them is Cloud Rat. I'm going to try to get in contact with Cloud Rat.
Which is?
Oh, it's a grindcore band. You should check them out.
Okay.
They're pretty sweet.
Where are they playing?
Well, they're American. So I might be trying to go to a festival there and get in contact with them.
Right.
Because they sound pretty cool. I enjoy their stuff.
Send us some of their stuff.
do.
I've been getting right into Bird Flash again as well.
I never listened to them.
Love chicken.
Check them out.
All right, so you check out Cloud Rat, I'll check out Bird Flash. We'll meet at the KFC where you'll be.
Jamesy, what's happening with you? You're fucking busy as shit at the minute. You've got like working with Broken Drum.
Broken Drum Studio. Shout out to Dave Taylor.
Dave,
Dave.
yeah.
Diamond Dave.
Davey's done fantastic up there. He's actually putting a new door up in the studio. So there's just a single practice room. Got a lovely control room as well. So available for bookings, rehearsals, and recordings.
How much does that cost?
Negotiable.
TBC.
It's negotiable per capita, per person, per band.
I mean, it's actually sort of like
But
to jump in there, but like especially with Broken Drum was like I was like one of the people that kind of was wrong with like Dave when he got that started. It's crazy to think that studio's been open like 11 or 12 years now.
Yeah, man.
It's
Well,
like
the
one of
drum
kind of-
riser he's got in there is fucking ridiculous.
You can tell the studio was built by a drummer.
Yeah.
Can't you?
It's
Essentially.
He likes his feet
insanity.
and he likes his
Yeah.
height.
Yeah.
You're just getting like battered by kick drum as soon as you're
Totally.
starting.
But he's in what, like Endless Swarm, Amoros?
Yeah,
might have said that wrong. Devil's
Amoros.
Beef Tub,
Black Talon.
Animals.
Black Talon.
Yeah,
Meow.
save some bands for the rest of us.
Yeah, Jesus Christ, he's in like fucking every band, man.
And you still
He's
get
insane.
asked to join more and more.
Yeah.
Also plays the clarinet delightfully.
Yes.
Yeah, and was in a choir, I think, as well. Was in the school choir. Oh, no, there's
A
Strange fact.
ridiculous fucking dude. But
Strange
yeah.
fact, if you can find it on the latest Endless Swarm release, Imprisoned in Skin, there's actually a track that features clarinet and organ as well as another sort of wind
Yeah, he's
instrument.
a rogue one that day.
Yeah, I need to actually
Throw it in
sort
the
myself
goal.
out. Like, they did a limited release of vinyl for Imprisoned Skin, and I would thoroughly recommend if you want a copy, it's got to be like fucking soon, because I've been chasing the guys up for them, and numbers are dwindling already. So it's just like shit.
Don't tell me that, and I have to get that.
Yeah, it's a fucking doozy, mate. It's an absolute belter, considering that, like, again, they've done most of it all DIY, help with James as well at the studio, and then you've also got like, for example, like the way how they printed and pressed it, they did it through themselves, and as I say, they got their, like, they pretty much made a construction. Yeah, it's all in-house. It's as DIY as you're gonna get.
That's cool.
So it's
Until the Source TC album comes out.
Just the fact that they've asked me to sort of help out and do whatever I can do to help them do what they do, you know what I mean, and get it onto a record or such. Because we recorded, mixed, and then we shipped it off. It got mastered and then printed. So yeah, that was fantastic. And now we're recording more acts, trying to get more guys in. Obviously,
well, just even their like work ethic when they were down at doing the studio session with myself and Stu, and you were down as well doing that as well.
Yeah,
that was like insanity. 18 songs, 11 minutes, and it was literally they came in, plugged in, and it was like, right, we're ready. I'm like, oh shit, right, okay, like, let's get the fucking cameras on.
We play grind.
We play grind. You've got 11 minutes of us, and then we're gonna leave.
Yeah.
It's like,
it's interesting how they'll do that as well. It's like they'll take, say, 4 or 5 songs of a minute each, and that's the block, and then so that's like basically like block 1. So almost like your block is like almost like a song, but it's got so many different progressions and different stops and little starts as well. But it's fascinating the way that they work things. So
and it is.
Got to check out a Swarm show as well.
Yeah, Swarm shows are fucking always ace. Graham, you're doing Fiesta Loco as well. He books a lot of good gigs as well. So I can't help but promote them guys. They're absolute sweethearts.
But,
so what else is cracking with Vasara?
The Vasara, yes.
Excuse me.
It's my metal band at the moment. Kind of like experimental, thrashy, death metal. So try not to remain like too pigeonholed into a genre and stuff, but like I say, experiment with different stuff. I mean, we've got writing new songs as well as gearing up for this the gig at Banshee Labyrinth on the 9th.
Keep promoting that shit.
Yeah, every time, just go to Banshee Labyrinth 9th, you know.
Yeah.
Gonna cut to my 80s wrestling promos, but
are you gonna make a grind song for the occasion? You were talking about the idea of making like a minute-long noise.
Well, it's interesting because Ian, the singer, he's also actually contributing, and this is another thing as well with Vasara and the writing. It's everyone contributing. It's not just like, here's my song, learn this part, and all this kind of, it turns into like dictatorship. I'm like, I have this idea, what have you got? And then even if someone's got something a bit crazy, so we've got this outro section of a song coming up, and it's like, what would this sound like with a ska? Like playing it with a ska feel, you know, and it's just like, let's try and blend that. So again, we're coming from that and see what happens, and we're just like to have fun with that. So writing, but of course, jobs and college work. Donna's finishing, the drummer, she's finishing up her degree.
That's her last year now, so she's free now.
Yeah, same as myself, like last year. So she's looking into teaching and doing things along those lines as well. So
she also helped out with like Ramage and stuff like that for stuff. So like loads of stuff is happening with your band.
Ramage Productions, we did a video with him as well, so that was quite interesting. So keeping our ear to the ground and just trying to find time to jam and do all the things that bands do.
Well, also as well that you're fresh out the box and you can definitely play bills. So if anyone's looking for a band which is needing some like stage time,
the old Facebook,
right on here.
Already available for bar mitzvahs.
You guys are fucked, so I can't promote you guys.
Anyone's any Somasthesia stuff, they can go fuck themselves.
You gotta listen to it on a CD.
Yeah, and that shit's old now. we got new stuff that we even playing for you.
Yeah, well,
so fuck you.
Yeah, I've listened to it and nobody else has.
Yeah, but we think for the song with the working title, Flap of Fate, 12 people have heard it, including all the members of the band. We've been playing it for about a year and a half. So fuck yous.
Yeah.
You just get a video of you guys just like playing it through a phone, and you just holding it from the phone, and the video is just you holding it, and it's like losing it out, just like shitty phone quality.
I'll just get like a duck to sing it. Fuck you.
Training the duck would be the difficult part.
Not if you humble the duck.
Right. Okay.
You know.
That's tough.
Right, enough of this shenanigans.
I'm gonna just split the bill.
We're gonna call this a day, and then we're gonna wrap this up. But yeah, thanks again for watching, guys. Same again, if you want to get involved or do anything with us lot, just give any one of us a message and we can sort something out. But apart from that, go see some shows, and then hopefully we can get something sorted. All right.
And fuck you from Somasthesia.